Video games are a form of art. And sometimes art is bad. Oh, this is the Real Madrid video game? Then explain these! As a gamer, sometimes you need to ask yourself, is this a game I would be proud to have in my collection? Well, IGN gave it a 7, so maybe I'll try it. The perfect video game title should give you some idea of what the game is about, while also conveying the attitude of the game, as well as being catchy and unforgettable on its own. A game's title is extremely important to get right. It's going to be a part of the legacy of not only that game, or that console, but your company as a whole. Ah, damn it. Sega, you've made 18 Phantasy Star games. You gotta know how to spell this word by now. Adventure? Where? Trying to find a game that will finally make your child happy? Why not try reverse psychology? Golf Magazine presents 36 great holes starring Fred Couples. I guarantee you the person who named this has never seen a video game in their life. Tetris Attack? What do you mean Tetris Attack? That's Yoshi! And, arguably just as important, that's not Tetris. Look, this is one of the best designed puzzle games out there. You couldn't have possibly thought of an original name for this thing, Nintendo? I like the original style of Panel de Pon, but I can understand wanting to put Yoshi characters in it. That's fine, it's kinda cute. But did we really need to have the Tetris brand on this thing? This isn't even that close to Tetris. Yoshi already had 2 puzzle games named after him. What's one more on the pile? You couldn't have called this game like Yoshi Blocks or something? Yeah, I know it's a bad name, but at least it's more accurate than Tetris Attack. Hot Brain? I think Super Monkey Ball needs a Super Monkey intervention. Sega, you can't just call every game Banana something. You have 3 Monkey Ball games out on all the major platforms right now. You think children and their parents are going to be able to remember the differences between all 3? I mean, sure, to a little kid, owning one of these games isn't going to feel all that different from another. But what if they want to play the same game that their friend has? What if they already have one of the games and they want a different one? The parents probably won't understand that there even are 3 different games. But sweetie, you already have Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. No mom, I have Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. What's not making sense here? And they wonder why young people are losing faith in humanity. You can't just have all the games in a series basically share the same name. That would be like Nintendo releasing 7 different games all called New Super Mario Bros. Maybe I should stop suggesting things. At what point does this stop being new, you guys? I know that this is not the only series that has the console name at the end of each game's title, and it does make sense. But when the series base name is already this long, it makes it sound like this is the same game being ported over from the DS to whatever the new console is. I'm very glad that they've decided to give their games actual titles again. Well, if you don't like video games that have the console name in their title, I've got bad news for you. This one has 2! Oh no, Mario, we're not done with you. You're not leaving until we get an explanation for these. Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario 3D Land. What's up with these companies giving separate games nearly identical titles? Especially considering that only one of these games was released for a console that supported actual 3D. That seems a bit misleading. Extreme Sports with the Berenstain Bears. Yep, that's what I think of when I think of the Berenstain Bears. BMX. Okay team, we finally finished our big multiplayer party game for the Wii. Now all we need is a name for it. Oh my god. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Dragon Quest, Echoes of an Elusive Age S Definitive Edition. I need a nap. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, Starship Bridge Simulator. Did you really need the word star in there 3 times? Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Heroes 2, The Phantom Fortress. The Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2, Rise of the Witch King. Word of advice, everyone, if your game title needs 2 colons, or forces you to take a breath in the middle of saying it, it's too long. Sonic the Hedgehog, a true icon. A game to kick off a whole new era of platforming and fast-paced video games. I mean, if you include Sonic 2, 3, and CD as part of that statement. The first one was, it was there. So now imagine, it's the mid-2000s. The Dreamcast era, and thusly Sega's era as a console developer, had come to an end, but the company was still kicking. It was about to be the 15th anniversary of their flagship franchise, and riding the highs of the two Sonic Adventure games, as well as the successful Sonic Advance and Sonic Rush series, it was time for Sega to make a bold statement and assure everybody that they weren't going anywhere. Releasing on the fresh and powerful new consoles in 2006, the Sonic series would reinvent itself with a new game simply titled Sonic the Hedgehog. Yikes. Well, at least it's the only bad Sonic game they released on that day. Oh no. Every developer who made games for the Nintendo 64 thanked Nintendo for saving them the trouble of coming up with a title. Mario 64, Mega Man 64, Donkey Kong 64, Doom 64, Star Fox 64, Destruction Derby 64, Ian Fisherman Bass Hunter 64, Forsaken 64, Golden Nugget 64, Road Rash 64, Armageddon, Nuclear Strike 64, Monster Truck Madness 64, Ogre Battle 64, International West GT 64, Jam Edition, F-Starcraft 64, Tetris 64, Chameleon Twist 2. Go ahead. Say it. Excuse me, I thought this was Mario Kart. That's not Mario! Mario Kart Super Circuit cleverly references in its title the fact that you can unlock all the tracks from the original Super Mario Kart. Mario Kart Double Dash references the unique gimmick of having multiple racers in a vehicle and is a catchy name in its own right. Mario Kart 7 references the percentage of people who think Mario Kart 7 was a good title for this game. Don't get me wrong, it's a totally serviceable name and sounds a lot more timeless than something like Mario Kart 3D would have, but this just makes the game feel like it has no personality. Even Mario Kart 8's name is more creative because the 8 alludes to the new anti-gravity feature that makes tracks such as the new Mario Circuit possible. It's not much, but it's excusable, so Nintendo, please don't name the Mario Kart games after numbers anymore. Is that better? I genuinely can't tell if that's better. Nintendo, what the fuck? Look everyone, it's Zapper, one wicked cricket. Oh man, this guy is badass! Super Smash Brothers. What the hell is that? What does that mean? Are these Smash Brothers? Is this smashing? Look, there's no denying that this series is iconic, but the name Smash Brothers implies to me that they did not expect this to become a whole series. Brawl would literally make more sense as the series base name than as a subtitle. Oh. Biff. Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Sure is, bud. Oh, thank God there's two of them. Man, how the hell did we go from the first DS right to the 3DS? And then the 2DS afterwards? So this is a prequel. Kingdom Hearts. Oh boy. Look, I'm not here to talk bad about the series. A lot of people like it, and it honestly seems pretty neat. But the stories are a lot, and the titles of the games are cryptic, but not in the way that really makes me curious to know what they mean. Like I said, a lot of people love these games, but you would think that games prominently featuring so many famous Disney characters would feel a bit more approachable to a wide array of people. Yes, I understand that these titles make sense if you get to know the lore, but I gotta be honest, for those of us who aren't already in the know, it doesn't exactly help to make the series more approachable. Gravity Games Bike Street Vert Dirt. That's just a collection of words, bud. That's not a title, it's a damn list. The Game Boy Pocket seems to me like an admission that the original Game Boy couldn't actually fit in your pocket. Totally rad. Guys, if I name my game, This Game Is Good, do you think people will like it more? Genuinely, can you imagine if this game had sold well enough to become a franchise? We'd have stuff like Totally Rad 3 and Totally Rad Origins. Like, come on guys, if you want your series to last, you need to think this through. C. The Contra Adventure. I really feel like I shouldn't need to explain this one. Oh, what's the C stand for? Contra? Okay. Imagine if Sega made a new Sonic game and called it S, The Sonic Quest. Do you see how that sounds kinda redundant? And also bad? Konami has really tried to make this C logo its own identity. You don't need to rebrand the entire series as one letter. Look, if you guys want to do away with the Contra name so badly, that's fine. Maybe you could adopt the series' European name, Probote. Remember when they tried to get Pokemon Masters EX trending on Twitter? Because they sure would rather you didn't. Buck Bumble. You switch around the second and sixth letters of the alphabet and we'd have the craziest American football game of all time. Hey, Xbox. What the fuck? The original Xbox and Xbox 360 had good names, and got those names widely known amongst the public. You know how in the 90s, people who didn't know any better called every video game console a Nintendo? Well, in the 2000s, a lot of people started calling everything an Xbox. So Microsoft had created a brand of consoles that immediately competed with the big boys in both power and popularity. So it would honestly be pretty damn impressive if they managed to screw it up with the next console. Let's see what they came up with. Give him an award! So we have the Xbox One, not the Xbox One, the Xbox One, which later got revisions called the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. And then in the next generation, they gave us the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. You constantly hear about how Microsoft always loses money on the Xbox brand. Well, of course they do. Nobody knows when a new Xbox is actually f***ing new or not. Alright, fine. I'll move on and pick on somebody else now. Guys, you can't just put Xbox on the game label. I know you want to do that to try and unify the whole Xbox brand, but it's just gonna make people confused about what consoles can run this game. You might as well just write rectangle on it. So just to make sure I understand, Nintendo failed to sell the Wii U because people thought it was just an add-on for the original Wii, and to try and fix that, they released sequels to Wii games and just stuck the letter U at the end? You know, I might just stick with this.